Hi, everybody. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me just get the captions on. Amazing. We have some people joining. I'm going to give them a second before we dive in. I hope everyone had a lovely Monday. Happy Thanksgiving week. I see some people in the chat saying hi. Hello, Gabriella, Sarah, and Nicole. Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us to talk through the 5 signs your salon software might be hurting your team's bottom line. We have a pretty packed hour, so we are going to jump right in. First, I want to introduce myself. My name is Sam Grant, and I work on the marketing team here at GlossGenius. And if you're not familiar with GlossGenius, we are the modern all-in-one platform built for ambitious teams who want to grow without all the busy work. So if you are an ambitious beauty and wellness business owner, this is a great webinar for you. Today, we are going to get pretty real about something that many beauty and wellness businesses overlook, which is that the ways that outdated or frankly the wrong software can slowly chip away at your time and profit without you realizing it. To really help bring this session to life, we have invited two amazing humans, Brittany and Tash, co-owners of the Honey House in Spring Hill, Florida. I'm loving the love with the emojis. Keep it coming. These two amazing humans scaled their nail and lash studio from a 2-person suite to a 9-person, 7-figure powerhouse. And they lived through all of the challenges of outgrowing the wrong systems along the way. So Brittany and Tash, thank you so much for being here. I'd love it if you could just introduce yourselves briefly.
Yeah, for
For
sure. Go ahead.
sure. Yeah. Thank you, Sam. We're so excited to share our story. My name is Brittany Leonard. I am co-owner of the Honey House with Tosh.
Yeah, I'm Tosh. I am so excited to be here. Really nervous. This is our first webinar, but we're super, super, super excited.
Well, the camera loves you, and I think you have an amazing story to tell. So I'm really happy that you're here, and I know that you have sort of gone through the same types of challenges that many people listening have gone through. So I know that your stories will go a long way for those people. So before we dig into the content, I would love to just hear from both of you about the early days of Honey House. How did your business start? Yeah, tell me about sort of how you built your business today.
Yeah. So Tosh and I have been best friends since around 2017. For those of you that don't know, we live in Tampa Bay, well, Spring Hill area, so it's about an hour north of Tampa, Florida.
Nobody knows where Spring
Yeah,
Hill is.
so we just say Tampa Bay. Our salon is based there. I've lived in Florida basically my whole life. Back around 2016, 2017, my wife and I needed a change of pace. Like I said, we've been here my whole life, and both of us have, and we just wanted a fresh start. So we packed up, we moved to Tennessee. We both had really good jobs there. We were making good money, doing good things, but we got really homesick. Our family was here. We had nieces and nephews that were being born, and we were missing out on a lot of things. So we moved back home. And in moving back home, I started doing medical billing. Didn't pay as much as I was making in Tennessee, and I was just living paycheck to paycheck. Both of us, we were just struggling. I knew that I wanted more. I was bored, discouraged. I'd always been interested in nails, so I decided to go to nail school, which was a journey in itself. I was working 9 to 5 at the billing office, and then I would leave straight from work, go to school from 5 to 10 at night, like 4 to 5 days a week. So that was hard, but we made it through. During the time while I was in school, COVID hit. So what was supposed to take 5 or 6 months, to finish, took me close to a year because everything got shut down. School was kind of put on pause. We couldn't go in. So, during that time while I was in school, I had a second bedroom in my apartment. I kind of just set it up as a nail space, and I just started taking clients for free. I just figured it out as I went. And I just knew that I wanted to practice as much as I could. I wanted to be the best. And I'm the type of person that if I'm not good at something right away, it's very frustrating. So I just kept practicing. I took whoever wanted to get their nails done. I was their girl. I did not care if I got paid $0. Obviously, clients would still tip me here and there, but I just wanted to practice and gain as much experience as I could. I met some really amazing people too doing that. Once I did finish school, got licensed, I eventually booth rented at a salon for around a year. I gained experience there, built a super loyal clientele. And during that time, I was honestly like turned off by the thought of opening a salon. It just seemed so scary. You know, I watched my dad own a business, and it seemed so scary. You know, I was young, I didn't know what I was doing, and it just didn't seem like something, not that I wasn't interested in, but something that was possible for me. You know, I was doing good. I was finally making more money. I was able to quit my job at the billing office, just doing nails full time, making decent money, and I still knew I wanted more. So during that time, you know, Tosh was in school, and once she got to the point where she was done with school, both of us were like, we want more, and that's kind of where we started talking about opening our own salon.
Yes, similar to Brittany, I in 2016, 2017, I've been GM at Panera Bread since 2014, I want to say, and I had moved to North Carolina, was GM over there for a little bit, and then moved back, it was like within a 2-month period, so it was a huge switch back and forth. I ended up living with my mom when I moved back, and I was working 60 to 70 hours a week. So I was completely drained, on autopilot every day. It was like work, eat, sleep. And during that whole time, I was practicing lashes just for fun because it was popular at the time. I would see like the time-lapse videos on Instagram.
I was like, you should do it.
Yeah. So I just ordered a bunch of cheap supplies from Amazon, and I was like, oh, this will just be my cute little hobby. And then started practicing with my mom, my friends, and then COVID hit. And all the salons were closed. So, you know, everybody went absolutely insane that they couldn't get their lashes done. So I just started taking models for free too. In my mom's little 1-bedroom apartment living room, bunch of cheap supplies. I was just like, oh, this person said use this. This person said use this. But it really was a huge advantage for me because everyone needed their lashes done. So once COVID started to slow down, I had an epiphany. I was like, this is my thing. This is a passion. I actually enjoy doing it. And it was the first time in a long time that I was actually happy doing something. So I devoted myself at Panera, started full specialist school, but then I decided nails was not for me. I was not good at it.
She was not good at nails. We were in school together, and she would be doing my nails, and it was rough.
I almost was like, I changed my mind. But then I was just like, no, I want to do lashes. So I just switched over to esthetician and finished it online while I was working 2 jobs at the time and still taking models. So it was a huge burnout, but definitely worth it. And once I got licensed, moved into a house and had an at-home salon for a little bit. And that's where I gained most of my loyal clientele and experience. And then we eventually came up with the idea. We were like, we need to do a best friend collab, and we just need to get together. You do nails, I do lashes, and it was just like,
once we had a taste of like both of us feeling fulfilled with what we actually wanted to do, we wanted to take it further. It was just scary
and overwhelming.
Yeah. I mean, what an amazing story. A few things. One, you're living the dream of owning a business with your best friend. That I feel like me and my best friend make that joke once a week. And 2, I think you represent what we see with so many small business owners. You started from the ground up, and you started scrappy. You started because you loved the thing that you were doing. And we hear about that so much. And I think a challenge that comes with that is that you get into this business because you love the craft, not because to what you said, Brittany, not because maybe you want to actually run a business or learn how to do all the ins and outs. Like, you go to school to get to learn about your craft, not necessarily to get an MBA. So I'm sure there are a lot of challenges you ran into, which we're going to talk about. But before we get into that, I know that when you really finally established the Honey House and you guys were in business, I know you didn't start with GlossGenius. Can you tell me about sort of the tech that you were using when you first started out?
Yeah, so we were using Acuity when we were both independent. So when she was working at home, I was working, at my first salon. we were just using Acuity. Keep in mind, this was 4 years ago. I mean, it worked for what we needed it to. You know, we didn't have a lot of experience with other software. It was all we used, you know? So it was basic. I mean, that's all there is to it. It was basic for one person. As we were moving into a new space and joining forces together, we knew we needed something better, different, faster, more reliable. So that's kind of where GlossGenius came into that.
We knew having more techs and booking all in one place is what we needed, and Acuity was just not practical for that. We needed something that was easy and quick to follow with all the tools that we needed in one place, because apparently owning a business means you have to look at a lot of reports and pay attention to a lot of numbers. So just having the variety of reports that GlossGenius offered and the option for having a card on file was huge for us. So
for sure, there was things that we didn't even know that we needed to have until we got GlossGenius.
Yeah.
We didn't, I mean,
when we first
know.
met with our tax guy, we were like, what are you talking about? Yeah. And we're just looking through our GlossGenius reports, and he's like, it's right there, it's that, and then you need that. And we were like, oh.
Okay,
Amazing. Well, we're so glad you made the switch. It's definitely, we talked to a lot of business owners who are like really beginning to scale, and they really outgrow good enough. What got you there is not going to be the thing that gets you to that next phase, which I think is exactly what we saw with your success story. So thank you so much for that. And for those listening today, we're going to be unpacking some of those flags that they might have spotted when they realized they needed to switch software, and how everyone listening can do the same as you're maybe growing your business or taking it to the next level. Before we get into it, for those who are listening in, drop a note in the chat. I would love to know your name and maybe where you're dialing in from, and if you want to share what you do as well. We got some people typing. Oh yeah, this is exciting. Let's see who's calling in today. Amazing. We have
DC.
Gabriella from DC. We have Texas, who does lashes. Amazing. We have Gisela. Yep. We have Felicia from Chicago Nails. Yes, we have
New York.
Shout out to New York. I'm in Brooklyn. New Jersey, Michigan. Okay, we have a pretty awesome spread. Jasmine from Georgia, Trish from San Francisco. We have some great representation. Well, thank you all for joining. We're so happy that you're here, and I hope that you all have as much fun as I do talking to these fabulous ladies. All right, I'm going to get into some of this content, and then Brittany and Tash will ask you to sort of share your experience along the way. But I want to talk about sort of the 5 red flags that your software might actually be costing you more than you think. And the first one is about unpredictable costs. These types of things usually show up in 3 places: your subscription fee, your processing rate, and all the little add-ons or outside tools that you've had to tack on just to stay above water and make things work. If you are somebody where your bill jumps around every month, or basic features like marketing or forms keep showing up as paid add-ons, that's probably a clear sign that your software might be nickel and diming you. We see this often with platforms like Vagaro, Square, and Mindbody with hidden costs, especially related to sneaky processing rates that jump up in cost for card not present transactions, which can be really frustrating, because when you're a business owner, you want to have clarity and peace of mind in how much every transaction is going to cost you. And we see this come up a lot, and we hear a lot of frustrations about this. It's not always just about surprise fees either. Some platforms like Acuity, which I know the Honey House ladies were using before, they don't actually offer a full payment solution, which then forces you to juggle multiple tools just to get all of the basics in one place, which I know Tosh talked about, just needing everything in one place. So that's not only extra cost, it's extra complexity, it's extra stress, it's time and money that you could be spending growing your business. Brittany or Tosh, did you experience any of this with your previous software?
For sure, yeah. It was a huge pain with Acuity to have to use Square for workaround payments. And then if, a client didn't want to use a card, we had to go to Cash App, or just something that wasn't professional,
Right.
It became expensive and inefficient. All of these fees add up. And as us, being a new business, we had to be frugal about those types of things. Acuity was also a huge risk for no-shows. for us. You know, with Acuity, when we were using it then, you know, we had to take deposits, which we found to be discouraging for potential clientele in our area. GlossGenius gives you the option, you know, if you want to have a deposit or not, or just put a card on file, whatever the option is. But with us, you know, that was the only way with Acuity to secure an appointment for a client. And that wasn't not working for us. So we were looking for a simpler platform with fees at a flat rate.
Yeah, as a salon with multiple techs, like having the option for having a card reader that's directly connected with GlossGenius, as well as being able to use our phones for tap to pay or manual entry, it was a huge game changer for us.
For sure.
Because a lot of clients were discouraged to pay with card using Square because of the fees, and then that resulted to them using Cash App or Apple Pay or Venmo, which was then a fee that was on our side, and it was too much. It wasn't practical at all.
This reminds me of what you said earlier, Brittany, of like, you just don't know what you don't know when you're getting into this. And these are the things that slowly start to, it's like death by a thousand cuts over time. And you kind of hit this breaking point. So thank you for sharing that. What we believe at GlossGenius is that we have some family and friends joining in. Thank you for all the support. But really here, transparency matters. I mean, with GlossGenius, our subscription tiers are simple. We don't make you, have a calculus degree to understand how much you're going to have to pay. Exactly. And yeah, our flat 2.6 processing rate applies to every kind of transaction type, no surprises. And what we see is that this level of simplicity and clarity ends up saving businesses using GlossGenius on average thousands of dollars a year. So for those listening and those wondering, am I being nickeled and dimed? One simple thing that you can do at home, take a look at last month's payouts and look at what you actually paid in processing fees, then compare that number to what it would have been had you been using GlossGenius at our flat 2.6 rate. And I think you'll very quickly see whether or not your current processor is costing you more than you think. Awesome. Okay, moving on to sign number 2. Your booking site might actually be losing you clients. This is one that I feel strongly about, and I'm excited to hear from the girls on. But let me give a quick voiceover first. So if your current booking system requires a client to download an app, create an account, or click through a million different clunky pages, you are adding unnecessary friction, and friction kills bookings. We see this a lot with systems like Mindbody or Vagaro, and we hear from so many businesses who are coming to us from those platforms in sheer frustration because their clients don't want to have to download an app. They end up on the phone with clients all the time, having to help them book, and it ends up being a waste of time. And again, you lose clients along the way. I'm curious what your experience was when you moved over to GlossGenius for your booking site. Did you see any improvements in booking numbers?
Absolutely. With Acuity, I think both of us really had a lot of clients that reached out directly, like especially on Instagram, that wanted to book because they just avoided the site completely.
Or even texted us directly.
Yeah.
Wow.
And personally, even when I go to book an appointment, especially I see this a lot with Vagaro, or if I have to make a profile, like go through the process of doing that, I immediately am either going to reach out directly or I'm just not going to book. It's a discouragement, really, especially when like to clients that are not tech savvy or if they're limited on time. And as a high growth team, we have different techs. We have a lot of services, and majority of clients who book multiple services with multiple techs in one day, we can't afford friction with that. Imagine trying to book multiple services at one salon and it's taking you 30 minutes to an hour to even try to figure it out. So,
and then the client's going to call you anyways and be like, hey, I'm on your booking site right now and I can't figure it out.
Or they're going to book the wrong thing and then you have to call them, and it's just,
right.
So just being able to have all our techs listed is amazing because we're all independent and we all offer different services. Some even have different timing, different prices, and GlossGenius has everything categorized. So whether clients need to search it by tech or by category, it's beneficial either way. So GlossGenius is really like a dose of Advil for us after using Acuity.
For sure. Yeah, we get a fair amount of compliments about how easy our site is.
We actually got one today when I walked in.
Yeah, especially from new clients that have never been here before, that just find us on Google or Instagram, and they, just click to book, and they just say it's so easy. Like, we have the link on all of our social media platforms, on Google, on our business card. I mean, if a client calls while I'm in the middle of doing somebody's nails, you know, I answer the phone. If they're like, hey, do you have this time? Well, okay, that doesn't work for me. Do you have this time? Like, I don't have to have that conversation with them. I can say, hey, is this a good number for me to text you on? I can text you a link to our booking site, and you can see all of our availability in one place. It's so easy. So it's just so accessible for the client. It's easy for them. There's no app they have to download. There's no password. It's just simple. And that's a game changer, especially, you know, for me, I'm like, my face is out here in the salon every single day. I'm working full time as well as managing everybody else. So if that's one less thing that I have to do, that's a game changer for me. I mean, we really believe that that's why we've earned over 265-star reviews on the platform itself.
Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you are just speaking my language here. There are so many things I could say. One thing I do want to call out is, you know, you mentioned, you know, different types of clientele, different ages.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's an important thing too. I talk to a lot of business owners who are nervous about a new system because they're worried that some of maybe their older clientele will have a hard time. But the truth is, good tech, it should not be difficult. It should be intuitive. It should be clear. It should work for everybody. And I'm so thrilled to hear some of your experiences in switching and how much easier and better it's been for your customers.
For sure.
I'll add a little bit more here about GlossGenius, but really our booking site is built so that people don't just look around and browse, they actually book.
Yeah.
You heard Brittany and Tash speak about it, but our interface is fast, it's clean. And the thing that I care a lot about is that it really feels like a genuine extension of your brand versus being listed in like a marketplace alongside all these other competitors of yours. Like, it feels like you. It looks like the experience you want to deliver. And at the end of the day, your booking site is the first impression that new clients have, and getting that right matters so much. I totally agree with Tosh that, like, I have gone through booking flows myself where I've gotten so frustrated that I've actually gone and found a different stylist because I'm like, I don't want to have to deal with this every time.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing that you as business owners should be dealing with. Booking a service should feel like a self-care treat. It shouldn't feel like another stressor added to your to-do list.
Right.
Just one more thing to add. I feel like, I know this might sound a little funny, but a lot of us here have like really bad anxiety. So we relate a lot with others who have anxiety, and going on a website to book an appointment and then you're like, oh my God, I have to call. You're immediately going to be like, I'm not calling, I'm not booking. I'm going to find somewhere else that has an easier booking site.
Right.
So I think that's huge because we relate to that a lot.
Yeah. And not even that, but, you know, just with how things are in the world with social media, like, we have a very short attention span. All of us do. So you need to capture somebody the second you can. You know, if something is easy for a client to do, they're going to do it.
For sure.
If they don't have to think about it to do it, they'll do it.
Absolutely. So well said on both points. Completely agree. For those listening, one thing I always recommend that people do, go to your own booking site and see how many clicks it takes you to book your most popular service as a new client. And if it's more than 3 or 4, you're probably losing people before they even reach the checkout page. So give it a try. And then check out also a GlossGenius booking site and see what the difference looks like.
Yeah, if anybody does follow us on Instagram, I'm pretty sure I have like a screen recording of how to book an appointment, and I'm pretty sure the entire video is 10 to 13 seconds, I want to say. Yeah. So it's easy as
super easy.
I am such a believer in showing versus telling, and that's exactly how you show how easy it is. Incredible. Awesome. So sign number 3, this is something that I'm sure everybody dialing in is familiar with. Admin overload. If you or your managers, your team are spending hours every week manually running payroll, tracking inventory, cleaning up scheduling, chasing down clients for follow-ups, your system isn't just clunky, it's actually costing you. I think that we all here want more time back in our day, more time to do what we love, to spend with our family, to actually like do the craft that you care about. And admin just will kill you. Again, death by 1,000 cuts. And so it feels really critical for small businesses to have the tools and the ability to grow more with less busy work. That is really at the heart of everything we do at GlossGenius. We know that every minute spent on admin is time that you could be spending with your clients and growing your business. The mental load of juggling so many different tools and repetitive tasks really adds up. And I'm sure Brittany and Tash, you feel this, but sometimes it leaves you feeling drained before you even get to the parts of your work that actually fulfill you, which is why having an all-in-one system really is such a game changer for so many people. I know you guys have both spoken about this, but wanted to hear if you had anything else you wanted to add here about just admin and how that has changed since you moved over to GlossGenius.
I'm sure Britt has a lot to say.
Yeah, I mean, this red flag is a big one for me. I'm more on the admin side here, while Tosh handles all of like marketing, social media. I do all of the payroll and deal with all of the girls' schedules and all of that type of stuff. So we knew from the start that we needed a system for payroll that wasn't going to be a nightmare. GlossGenius provides so many reports. Especially, I pull the sales report all the time, but you can pull it by date, by week, by quarter, whatever you want. It's so versatile. It's so easy to read. We can even set commission settings for individual texts, which is awesome. We do the payroll ourselves, and by we, I mean me. So those reports alone has made it such a breeze for me. It takes me minutes. I can do it from the car if I have to. If we're on a trip, we were in Orlando a couple weeks ago at a nail class, and I was able to, do that before we started the class. It's so easy for me now. Managing scheduling takes us no time now. Our text availability is set individually. All of our services are set with a duration time. Clients can book online. All we have to do is press accept. Like everything, it's taken so much off of us. It's helped so much to just have access to so many things that we didn't know. Like I said, we didn't know we needed them, or we didn't even know they were a thing. So that it's helped us a lot.
Yeah, and now we have more time to really focus on the work day. Like Brittany was talking about, she really is the face out here. We have more nail techs than lash techs, so she does a lot in the salon, and she has 5 to 6 girls under her that are just, hey Britt, so having the time to focus on the work day and still having time in our personal lives, it's just really important to us, especially because we still work as full-time artists as well on top of running the business. Right. So not having to waste time on paperwork after work is a huge relief. So GlossGenius also makes marketing as easy as can be. Like Brittany said, I do a lot of the social media and the marketing. So I can send out mass texts for promos or important announcements, any communication, cancellations, anything like that. You can even filter them by date ranges, like the clients that have been here within the last 3 months, or even if we have like a promo and we want to reach out to clients who haven't been here in a while, we can do it that way, or we can even do it by specific clients. So it's a huge help and takes me no time to do it. So it's amazing.
Yeah, there's even like an AI feature on there that where GlossGenius will help you reword your text to all of these clients. It's just so
you
easy.
can even add images, and I love that.
People are visual learners. I love all those little anecdotes. I really believe that your software should work for you. You shouldn't work for your software. And it is, you talk to people who they actually feel like they are having to work for their software because they're having to do so much to keep everything running. And I'm just so happy that this has made your life so much easier, streamlined operations, allowed you to be marketers without having a marketing degree. That is just like incredible in this day and age.
Yeah.
Just to sort of round it out about the GlossGenius, how we help with admin overload. As we all know, time is your most valuable asset. Time is money. And GlossGenius really is the all-in-one system for everything you need to run your business, all in one place. Payroll, marketing, inventory, reporting. Brittany and Tash spoke about most of these things. Everything is in one place. Nobody likes to have to juggle and go to all different apps just to keep their day running. And we really believe that it's our job to help take care of the busy work so that you can stay focused on the work that you actually love doing. One of the things that I do want to highlight here is that GlossGenius is built specifically for beauty and wellness businesses. So every single feature or tool that we build comes directly from real customer feedback and speaks to real problems that you're running into in your day-to-day. So if something doesn't make your life easier, we probably are not going to build it. I just want to name that because when you look at some of the more catch-all systems like Square or Acuity, their tools aren't built for the people who do what you do. And we genuinely understand the world of beauty and wellness and understand sort of the specific types of tasks that you have to do. And we help you automate those and make your life easier. In the chat, I would love it if anybody would like to share maybe just like a tedious task that you do manually every month that you wish could do itself, or things that you feel frustrated with. Brittany and Tash, if you have any other examples you want to add on, you're welcome to. We'll just give people a second to add in the chat.
I'm like everything.
I think GlossGenius would work great for a sole proprietor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If I would have had GlossGenius when it was just me, it would have saved me a lot of headache for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would have opened the door for a lot more clientele too.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I'll jump onto Denise answering your question here. We have many tens of thousands of solos using GlossGenius. So very much built, and we started our business thinking about solos, and now we serve much larger teams, which has been really exciting. But we very much have the tools for a solo business owner. And Felicia, then the good news with GlossGenius is that you don't have to download an app, or clients don't need to. So I know we see that with some of our other competitors, but it's one thing that we care a lot about is making booking as easy as possible.
I love that you can like really customize your website too. With Genius. Like that was huge for us because Acuity was like, you can put pictures for your services and that
And
was
not
it.
even that, but you're like scrolling and scrolling and scrolling like you're reading a book, like trying to, it's too much.
Absolutely.
GlossGenius looks good. It's seamless. It's easy to navigate.
And I mean, we've like moved salons, remodeled a couple of times, and so anytime our vibe changes, we're able to, our booking site is able to match that. So we love that.
I mean, I have been on your booking site and it looks and feels like your business. And like, I'm somebody who's never physically been to your business, but I understand sort of like the brand that you're giving to the world. And I see that, which is pretty cool. The last thing I'll say on this point, and I think, Brittany, you mentioned the AI piece, but it's 2025. It's the age of AI. It's the age of automation. Your software should take care of as many tasks as possible for you. There's no reason to spend hours doing what technology can handle for you. And we're really excited about all the ways that we're helping to make people's lives easier and businesses thrive even more in 2026.
And it's good AI too.
Right.
That's right. Again, everything is built for this industry. It's not just generic, what you'll get when you go Google something.
Exactly.
Right.
Amazing. Okay. So number 4, when your system crashes or you're dealing with, I don't know, tricky chargebacks, for example, you need a system and a software that supports you, can help you through it, and is just generally reliable. This is your livelihood. This is how you run your business. You need your software to work, and you need to get support when you need support. Every minute your system is down, that is money walking out the door, and it becomes a situation that's out of your control. We talk to a lot of people coming to GlossGenius from other softwares that are slow or unreliable. We've talked to people who have lost real revenue and real client data because their software crashed at the worst possible times. Think of, a packed Saturday afternoon, the week before a holiday. It is not only stressful, it is disruptive and expensive. And that is just not something that you should be worrying about as a business owner. And that's why reliability at GlossGenius isn't optional for us. It is the standard. We feel really strongly about that. And our team is constantly monitoring app performance so that everything stays smooth, and that you get help from a real human when you need to. We know that your business moves fast and your software should move with you. And so we really believe that. We know that if you run into an issue, you might be in between clients. You might not have time to go dig into a help article and try to find the answer you need. You need a software that supports you and meets you where you are. I'm curious how your experience has been with GlossGenius support so far, Tosh or Brittany.
Yeah, it's really funny because every time we talk about GlossGenius, especially with other artists, we always love to talk about how when we first switched over, like we had an actual human from GlossGenius help us transfer all the client info from her Acuity account and my Acuity account into one GlossGenius account.
Yeah.
And when we needed help with Acuity or with Square, we had no real person to talk to. We just had a FAQ page and a chat room, or we were scrambling to look through Reddit.
Yeah. Or they would say, email us, and then they'd be like, we'll get back to you in 7 to 10 business days. We don't have that kind of time. We have 7 to 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Right.
Reliability and security was really non-negotiable for us. Being vulnerable to no-shows too, because we couldn't secure a card on file, wasn't going to work for us, especially with techs that rely on us and clientele for a paycheck. So we needed the option of being able to speak to an actual person.
Yeah. And like you were saying, Sam, with GlossGenius, it's geared towards salon professionals, right? So I love that with GlossGenius, we as a salon have a voice. We don't allow clients to book online within 24 hours. So we get new clients who will call for a last minute appointment, same day appointment. And when we first joined GlossGenius, we couldn't add card information manually over the phone. So if someone was to call in, I couldn't secure that appointment because they couldn't book online because we didn't allow, them within 24 hours. So that was something that needed to happen for us. Yeah. I had reached out to the team of GlossGenius, let them know, like, hey, this is kind of what we're running into. If this could be a thing, that would be awesome. Once we asked them to make it possible, they showed up for us, and it was available shortly after that. So we can now securely add cards on file over the phone to protect us from no-shows. It has been so helpful. Game changer for sure. That was one of the biggest things. When a client calls in and I let them know, hey, we'll see you at 2:00. Just needed to secure the appointment with the card on file. If they give me their card information over the phone, they're coming. I know they're coming. I can just have the reassurance and that safety, not just for me, but like for my team, like they're going to come. When I say, hey, just need to secure the appointment with the card on file, and somebody's like, oh, never mind, hangs up, doesn't want to give it to me, they weren't going to come regardless, So that has been a game changer. Just being able to have one-on-one help with a direct phone number is top-notch support. Any team member I've ever been in contact with has been amazing, efficient, helpful. Just being able to pick up the phone and talk to a regular person, just like Tosh was saying, I don't have time to wait for an email. My hands are constantly busy 8 to 10 hours a day. I don't have, if I could put my AirPod in and be able to call somebody, I would much rather do that as a business owner versus having to wait for an email, having to be in a chat while I'm trying to drill off somebody's gel polish. It's just not practical.
No. I also want to shout out GlossGenius for letting us know about any app complications in real time, instead of us just twiddling our thumbs and wondering if we're the problem. Is it our Wi-Fi? Is it this? Is it that? It's just, and then the problem's always resolved quickly with GlossGenius too. And we couldn't be more thankful for that. Imagine running into a software issue in the middle of a workday, like you were talking about, and then not having an actual human to help save you.
Yeah.
It's just,
how do you explain that to a client?
Yeah, we would.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, to all of the above. And I love that you had that firsthand experience of wanting a feature and not having it and then sending in the feedback. I often tell people who are on the fence, about GlossGenius because maybe we don't have a certain feature or tool that it's most likely on our roadmap and will most likely exist in the next week, month, 2 months, because that's how quickly we're building. And again, we build based on our customer feedback.
Yeah. It was even like that with the Google reviews, because at first it was just, you know, an email would go out to the client to leave us a review on GlossGenius, and now you guys have integrated Google, so that has been a game changer for us as well.
We had an issue where we only had 2 pedicure chairs, but we had 4 pedicure techs. So we was having to do like a workaround with scheduling, because it was, if we get 4 people who book a pedicure in the same time slot with 4 different techs, we only had 2 pedicure chairs.
Yeah.
So there's now a new feature where there's no overlap on GlossGenius, and that's huge for us.
Yeah.
So GlossGenius has done a lot just from us being able to have a voice.
Yeah, for 4 years, and I mean, just as far as we're evolving, GlossGenius has been evolving too.
Amazing. That's another great nuance of like the pedicure example. That is something that is so specific to this industry, this type of work. And like, that's why we build for beauty and wellness versus like you would never have Square build something like that because they have to serve so many different types of customers.
Exactly.
Amazing. I'm going to keep us moving, but just want to emphasize everything you said, and really peace of mind and your security come first for us. It's a non-negotiable. Okay, red flag number 5, your team hates your software. So if your software is so complicated, or if you're spread across multiple apps in a way that only like the manager or the owner can figure everything out, you have created a bottleneck for yourself and for your team. Your stylists and your team should be able to manage their own clients, their own schedules, and their own reporting. When they're able to, your business can run smoother and your team is happier and you can scale faster. But the reality is that I talk to a lot of business owners who feel like they're actually spending so much time having to train their team on the software, which just adds more work to their plate. I would also add that I talk to a lot of business owners who know that their team is not happy with their current software, and maybe they're not even happy, but the stress and mental load of having to switch everything can feel more overwhelming and riskier than staying with good enough. But I think we know from a lot of people that good enough just no longer works when you're building a business. The truth is that you don't have to feel stuck just because switching seems scary. With GlossGenius, we handle free data transfer, which I know you both spoke to, and we offer hands-on support every step of the way so that the transition is smooth. We don't treat our customers like another number. We care about our customers because this is your business, this is your livelihood, and we understand how important your data and everything is. Most of our customers are surprised at how quickly they're up and running, or how much easier their business runs once they're using GlossGenius. A couple quick stats for the people listening, just to take away. While other software might help you get by, GlossGenius is built to grow your business and take it to the next level. We save your team hours of admin every week. We have helped clients or customers boost retention of clients by 75%. And we help you earn more per every appointment with our processing fees. And generally, on average, businesses on GlossGenius grow 26% in their first year on the platform, which is certainly not nothing. Anything you guys want to add on this one related to ease of use, getting up and running, transferring over to GlossGenius? Any reflection there?
Yeah, I mean, you guys handled all of that for us, so that was so easy. I mean, if our 9-person team can't figure out how to use the software easily, it falls back on us, and that is something that I don't have time for. So the app is so easy to use. Like, if we hire somebody new, they're able to grasp it day one. It has the iPhone interface. It's so easy. Our techs manage their own schedules all through their own apps. You know, they can pre-book their appointments, handle all their client communication. It's just so easy.
Yeah, everything's laid out step by step with like short and easy prompts. So we truly believe the ease of use is a huge part of our 150% year-over-year growth.
For sure.
Amazing. I mean, your software should work for everyone on your team. GlossGenius, we offer really, I mean, to what you said, we offer really intuitive interface for all different kinds of roles, and people can actually, you can customize staff permissions, as you both know. We have all the built-in features, and we try to make sure to help educate and guide people along the way, because it shouldn't be rocket science trying to navigate our app. Awesome. Anything else you want to add here before we head over into Q&A?
I would say our final piece of advice for everybody listening is just don't settle for software that makes you work harder. In today's world, we truly need balance. Time is essential in all aspects. So if you're thinking about making this switch, I would do it.
Yeah, for sure.
What she said. We hear that a lot, and I think it's just so powerful hearing that come from two of you who have built such an incredible, successful business. It's really inspiring for me to hear, and likely those listening as well.
Thank you.
Of course. So just to wrap up the 5 salon software red flags that we went over today. 1 is being nickel and dime. That's all about unpredictable costs. 2 is your booking site driving customers away because it's clunky. It requires an app download, any kind of friction. 3 is about admin work stealing your time. 4 is about support and reliability and making sure that your software is actually in your corner and there to support you through the hard moments. And 5 is about software that actually slows your team's growth instead of helping your team grow. So it's been really helpful talking through all of these things here with these 2 amazing women. Before we open up Q&A, and if you're listening in, you're welcome to drop your questions in the chat. I do want to share a helpful next step, which is that if anything that we went over today resonated with those listening, it might be time to make a change, and we would love to have you over on GlossGenius. So there are 2 ways to schedule a demo with a member of our team and start your free 14-day trial. You can either use the link that Nicole just dropped in the chat, or you can scan the QR code on the screen using your phone camera. We'll also send a follow-up email with the recording and all the resources mentioned, but I find that the best way to test it out and see if GlossGenius is right for you is to do just that and get started and play around. I think it's really amazing that we offer a 14-day free trial, so I highly recommend that people take advantage of it. Okay, so let's open up the floor in case anybody has any questions. We're here to answer your questions live. I will give people a second, and if they don't have anything, we can end a little bit early.
We love questions. Bring them.
Amazing. I know that people have questions out there. They're coming in. One question I have for the both of you. So you've now scaled to a team of 9. Right? How have I'd love to understand just like how your goals and like your mindset and how you run your business have changed as your team has gotten so much bigger, because I can imagine it's just a totally different beast versus when you were a team of 2.
Yeah, it was a tough journey from start and even till now. We started with 2, then we had 4, then we had 5, then we had 7. At one point we had 12, and we've been far and in between, and I think we learned a lot.
For sure.
We definitely made a lot of mistakes, and we learned from them, and we are very grateful to have the team that we have now. Everybody's like family, and I don't know. It's just it's amazing to think that we are where we are right now.
Yeah, we have had a lot of support from our family. Mm-hmm. My wife, my brother-in-law, her mom, my parents. I mean, we've had a lot of support, so that has also contributed to our success for sure. I would say as far as our goals, we as a salon are super big into goals. Every time we have a meeting, I actually make all of the girls write down their individual goals, like for the year, for the quarter. I would say our goals for the future would maybe be opening up a second location, if that's something that is in the cards for us. Yeah. It's definitely something we've talked about. So yeah.
Amazing. Ooh, well, I will keep my eyes peeled for that day. I know that you will continue to crush it. It looks like we do have one question, which is, do either of you have a concrete example of a task that maybe used to fall on one of your shoulders, but now your staff can handle completely on their own?
So that's kind of hard to say because once we jumped into expanding, we immediately went to GlossGenius.
Right.
However, we are both very controlling. So we did used to like, what's your availability? We'll set it for you. If you need time off, let us know. We'll block it off your schedule. And we used to manually book a lot of clients for them or go in and accept the appointments for them. Like they weren't allowed to do a lot because we were just so controlling. And we were like, why are we doing this when we can set it for them to do it?
Right.
So now our entire team has access to be able to set their own availability, block off the time that they need in their own schedules, look at their own payroll if they need to. They can even book appointments for each other or manually book their own appointments while they're pre-booking the client that's already here. So that's been huge for us.
Yeah, a big one for me, I would say, if let's just say there's an issue with a client. Hey, one of the girls comes to me and is like, hey, I did this set last week, but her gel polish is chipping, what do I do? Or, whatever the case is. Let's say she leaves a voicemail on the phone, the client does. Okay, I'll help you write the text, but you're going to text them. So you're going to go into GlossGenius and our text can do that. They can go into GlossGenius, click on the client's name, click the text button and send them a text. They can click the call button, call them. I'm obviously there to assist them and help them word things, help them be as professional as we can be, obviously, in a situation like that. But they are able to do it themselves. It's not something that I constantly need to be doing for every single person. Obviously, if there's a situation that is bad and I need to get involved, I do, and we'll speak directly to the client. But for the most part, even that has helped our techs become more comfortable speaking with clients, So I would say that's a big one.
That's really helpful. Thank you for sharing that. I see somebody else has a question. Somebody is writing in as a single service provider. How did you know it was time to expand and hire a team?
Overflow. We were both so booked and overworking ourselves outside of our own. I mean, we had no time for ourselves at all. And we were like, what are we doing?
Right.
So that immediately took a lot of weight off of our shoulders. And we did it little by little. We didn't, we hired one nail tech. And then it took some weight off of Brittany's shoulders. Then we hired one lash tech, took some weight off of my shoulders. And then we had other girls that were interested who were coming from other salons with a clientele. So it was just being able to provide a space for the independent workers for them to bring their own clientele and gain more. But mostly it was the overflow that we knew it was time.
Right.
Good problem to have. Amazing. And then I see somebody else is asking about kind of how you've structured your business in GlossGenius, knowing that you have some renters. Like how do you think about that? How do you make your account set up in a way that allows everybody sort of in your space to work efficiently and have all the information they need to do their job?
Yeah, so we don't actually have any booth renters. Everybody's on commission here.
Okay, great.
So it's all through one account, and then we do payroll for them.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So everything is centralized. It's super easy.
There you go. There's the answer.
Yeah.
Okay, I see one more person typing, so we'll see if she has a question. But if not, we can wrap this up. It's just so helpful. Is it possible to do it with renters? We can have our support team respond, but yes, it is. We offer a separate bank account function so that you can absolutely have booth renters.
Which we love because when we do decide to expand, we have some people who want to booth rent that would rather booth rent. So having that option is we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, especially, whether that we bring in a new service or whatever that is, if there's somebody that's already established and we feel like that's the right road for us, we know that we have that option with GlossGenius.
Absolutely. Amazing. I am going to just flash this QR code one more time in case anybody wants to take a look. Thank you, Leslie, for your question. But just want to thank you guys again so much for your time today. I have learned so much from you. I am so impressed by you. And I can't wait to continue watching the empire that you are building in Florida, Spring Hill, or Tampa, depending on what you want to call it.
Right.
But I just really appreciate you. We're so grateful to have you as customers and wishing you nothing but success in your business endeavors.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're really grateful for this opportunity.
Yeah, and for everybody listening in, find a software that actually cares about the beauty industry and allows you to really focus on your passion in your team and most importantly, yourself.
For sure.
Absolutely. Amazing. Well, I'm going to close this out now, but appreciate you all and thanks everybody for joining and have a great holiday this week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.